All right, everybody, so here we go. So how to find the perfect product to sell on Shopify to build a seven-figure business, even if the economy crashes, which we're going to talk about in a second. This is the new way to build an e-commerce business that you control. So big question on everyone's mind right now is the economy going to crash? I hear people talking about this on the news. I hear people talking about it that are in our community. A lot of people are concerned about this. How do you plan for this? What do you do in this case? What can you do to kind of prevent the negative effects in your own life? Big question on people's minds. Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, which is the world's largest hedge fund, who also, by the way, has a net worth of about $19 billion, he's recently said interest rates will have to rise a lot, which they already have. This will bring private sector spending and hence the economy down with it. He thinks that there's going to be some massive pain in the economy. We're already seeing some of it in the stock market. But when it comes to people actually spending less money, people losing jobs, that kind of thing, which can really slow down the economy and kind of affects everything. And then here's Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase since 2005, who sort of led that company in a brilliant way through the entire financial crisis, also worth about $1.5 billion, says that hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way, talking about what could end up having a huge negative effect on the economy. This is the S&P 500, which is basically the largest 500 stocks in the US publicly traded companies. And this is year to date, down about 20%. Not looking good. A lot of people have felt this pain in their 401ks and their portfolios and in a lot of stocks that got super inflated during the pandemic. This is the NASDAQ, which is a little bit worse because this is primarily technology companies, which really shot up, 2020, 2021. And those are down about 30% year to date, kind of giving you an indication of what people think is going to happen to company earnings. Company earnings go down, the companies are worth less money, those companies start laying off people, which a bunch of businesses are already announcing. To prepare for any economy, no matter what happens, you want to own a cash generating business that you control. Because if you own a business that generates cash, even if the economy slows down a little bit, you have the power to add more products, to do more marketing, to force that business to keep growing no matter what happens. And I'll show you an example. So I own a business, which I'll talk about shortly, called Life Boost Coffee. Me and a business partner do. These are our sales. We've really been scaling this thing primarily since 2019, but it existed in a small level before then. And so since 2019, that's the blue line here. We've been scaling it as quickly as we possibly can. And the red line is the S&P 500. And so you could see both have kind of gone up. Our business was starting at a fairly low place before then. So we've had some massive run up in sales. And 2020 to 2021 is whenever we saw this massive increase in stock prices. Everyone's getting lots of money. People are buying lots of stuff, inflating a lot of stocks. And then we know this year, like I just showed you, stocks have basically tanked, which can sometimes be a prelude to what may happen in the economy afterwards. And so the stock market's tanked. But remember, we're the blue line. What's happened to our business? We've just kept growing. For us, if the economy slows down a bunch, it can have a slight negative effect on our business. But because we own a cash producing business following the model that we're talking about in this webinar, we control our own destiny. We can add more products. We can do more marketing. We can, do a lot of different things to grow this business that are sort of independent of what's happening in the broader economy. Now, if you're just sitting there hoping that your home gets more valuable or your 401k gets more valuable, there's not a lot of control you have. If everything drops by another 20%, 30%, there's not much you can do about that. But if you own your own cash producing business, like you're going to learn how to build in this webinar, then you are in control over what happens next. And I want to get you in that position. I want to show you how to build your own business with this new e-commerce system that's not dependent on anybody else, not even dependent on Amazon. But first, you have to believe that it's possible, no matter what happens to the economy. So the first question I have for you is, will people keep buying physical goods they want and need in the future? It's kind of a rhetorical question, but kind of also sets you up for the right mindset for this training. people, I'm sure as you would agree, are going to keep buying stuff. Even if the economy slows down, they're still going to need a new cell phone case. They're still going to need clothes. They're still going to need all the stuff for their homes and for anything else that they do in their life. Their cars are still going to need repairs, and they're still going to want things to make their lives easier. And some stuff is also necessities. So if you agree that people will keep buying physical stuff like they have for hundreds and hundreds of years, then we're in a good position. Question number two, will people keep buying more online in the future? Not just buy more physical goods, but will they buy even more online in the future? This chart shows you the US e-commerce adoption growth rate and basically shows e-commerce as a percentage of overall retail. It's been going basically up and to the right since the year 2000. Ever since e-commerce started becoming a bigger thing, it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger as a percentage of total retail. It's also gotten bigger in a dollar amount as well. We saw a huge spike during the pandemic because people literally couldn't buy from physical stores. But in general, the growth rate has continued even beyond that. It just keeps getting a higher percentage of retail because it's so much more convenient, easier, and cheaper to shop online than it is to go drive around to 100 different stores to find the products that you want. And so if you agree that people are going to keep buying more online, at least over the next 5 to 10 years, we're also in a good position for this business. Last question, will people keep wanting better products? This part is key. This is one of the biggest differences between the old model of doing e-commerce, which I'll show these two side by side here in a few minutes, versus the new model of e-commerce. The old model of e-commerce that we kind of pioneered, at least for Amazon, was find something out there that's selling well, slap your own label on it, and then outmarket them. Today, to succeed long term, you need a better product. But fortunately, that's super easy to do. That's one of the key things that we're going to be covering in this live training. So, last question to ask yourself is, will people keep wanting better products? If you answered yes to each of these three questions, you're ready for this new opportunity. Why should you listen to me? I'm sure a lot of you all have some exposure to who I am, or maybe you literally just saw a video of me on Instagram or TikTok or something, and you're not really sure who the heck I am or why I'm here talking to you. Few points, not going to spend a lot of time on this, but just so you have an idea, I've been an e-commerce entrepreneur since 2009, basically straight out of college. I went into investment banking, quit that job after 7 months, and pretty much went into e-commerce right after that. So I've been doing this for about 13 years. I'm not somebody who just sold my first product on Amazon a couple years ago and then started teaching people how to do this. I've been doing this for quite a while. I'm the original creator of a program called Amazing Selling Machine, or ASM. This is, from anybody in this space will tell you, this is not just me, the most successful e-commerce or potentially even online business education program ever created, in terms of how many students, in terms of the success of those students, anything you could possibly look at. Started back in 2012. So we've been teaching people. I've been doing e-commerce since 2009. I've been teaching it since 2012 and have shown tens of thousands of people how to build e-commerce businesses. I've personally sold about $252 million online, and I am the only person to help people sell $10 billion in e-commerce and build the fastest growing e-commerce company in its category. This is that business. So this business has done about $62 million in sales on Shopify alone. This doesn't include our Amazon sales. Right now, we produce about 10 to 15% of our sales on Amazon. So this right here is just Shopify. If you were to go to Inc.com, and I believe it's Inc.com/Inc5000 now, but if you go to Inc.com, the homepage, you'll find a little link to this. This is the recent Inc. 5000 rankings, which is, according to Inc., the most successful companies in America. If you were to look at this list, scroll down to number 29, this is our business that I own with a business partner called Life Boost Coffee. We've grown 11,283% to land at the number 29 spot on this most recent Inc. list. What we've been able to build with this new system we're talking about in this webinar, I'm basically showing you, is the 29th fastest growing company in the US, the number one fastest growing coffee company, the number one fastest growing company in the Midwest, where the business is based out of, the number one fastest growing company in Wyoming, where the company is incorporated. And we also won the number one spot on the 2022 Indianapolis Business Journal Fast 25. And this is Charles, my business partner, and I up there getting that award here earlier this year. So with that said, that's a little bit about me. Now we want to dive into this training. Now you absolutely want to be ready to take notes because I've been working hard on these slides and we're going deep into stuff that we have not covered before because we've done a few trainings that kind of show a high level overview of the whole business. Today's training is mostly just about finding the right kind of product. So we're able to go way deeper into that than we've been able to go to any time recently. So these are the 4 steps. First step is to get ideas. You got to start somewhere. Whether you're starting a business from scratch or you're adding a new product to an existing brand, first, you got to get ideas that fit this new business model. So first is to create a list of high potential product ideas. Second, validate the demand for those top ideas. Third, differentiate to dominate your market. And fourth, launch your automated fulfillment and sales machine. Now we're going to go through each one of these 4 steps. So who is this training for? If you want to start your first e-commerce business, perfect. That's what we're talking about here. If you want to start a new brand, maybe you've already built an e-commerce business before, maybe you sold it, maybe you just want to start a second or third brand that you control, you're not dependent on Amazon, you're not dependent on anyone else, and you're building a business that is potentially way more scalable, this is also perfect for you. And last but not least, if you own a brand and you're just tired and frustrated with Amazon, shutting down accounts, competitors bashing your reviews, having no control, ad costs eating up all your margins, and you're ready to own the relationship with your customers and sell directly to them with no middleman in the way between you and your customer, this is also perfect for you. So our product, we're basically selling coffee. We think it's a very good coffee. I drink it every single day. We've done some unique things with it. But in general, we're selling coffee. We didn't invent the next iPhone or something like that. And so if this can work for this product, this system can work for a lot of different other products. And there are thousands and thousands of opportunities out there and available for you today to follow the same exact system to build your own business. So the old model of e-commerce was kind of avoid high competition, go super niche products because you're targeting individual keywords. Don't price your product too high because it's kind of got to be comparable with everyone else. Don't worry about your passions or interests or hobbies. Just sell whatever the data kind of points to, and then sell on a massive platform like Amazon. This model has worked extremely well and can still work today, but there's a newer and even better model. That's exactly what we've done that we're going to be talking about now. You sell mass market products. You want to go after a big, broad market. You want to price your product at a premium so you signal to the market that this product is better and you are actually going to differentiate it and you make a higher profit margin. You sell a product you like. Why spend years building a business selling a product that you don't care about or don't use? It's so much more fun selling a product that you actually enjoy. I drink our coffee every single day. My mom and dad are literally paid subscribers of our business. Our friends and family drink the product. We send it out as gifts. That's the position I want you to be in because it's so much more of a fun way to build a business. Last but not least, rather than selling on a platform, you sell direct to consumer. There's no middleman. You own that relationship, which opens up a lot of different possibilities, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So step number 1, get a list of high potential product ideas. First thing to do is to start with your interest. What are the things that you're interested in? What do you like to do? What do you spend your time doing? What do you have experience doing? What do you enjoy? Your hobbies, those kind of things. So the first thing is to make a list of your interests. So you literally just write this down on a sheet of paper, for example. Could be like rock climbing, camping, wine, tea, traveling, that sort of thing. So you would write down a list of your interests. You could literally just walk around your house. What kind of clothes do you have? What's in your refrigerator? What's in your closet? What do you do on the weekends? That kind of thing. Come up with those different interests. Don't have to overthink this. Then combine one or more of those interests with a common search phrase. For example, accessories, gear, gadgets, tools, gifts, products, supplies, like rock climbing accessories, rock climbing gear, rock climbing gadgets. And you combine these different things to allow you to uncover potential product ideas. For example, rock climbing, which would be the interest, plus gear, which is one of those search phrases. Now, even though our plan is not to be selling on Amazon initially, because you're going to use Shopify as your foundation, Amazon is still a great research tool. Because the good thing about Amazon is it literally tells you what products are selling well. So if I were to go over to Amazon to find product ideas, I would search something like rock climbing gear, and then maybe I'd see a search results page like this. This tells me products that are likely doing pretty well that are in this category. So this would give me an initial source of potential product ideas based on my interest and the products that are actually selling well. So the idea is to go through this process with your interest plus one of those search phrases and create a list of specific potential products from the first 1 to 2 pages of search results. You don't need to go any deeper than that. It's probably going to get repetitive anyways. So create a list of specific potential products from the first 1 to 2 pages of search results. For example, you might end up with a list that starts like this: rock climbing mug, rock climbing carabiner, rock climbing chalk bag, rock climbing nylon sling, belay glasses for rock climbing harness. These were all ones that I just did that one search and was able to pull these 6 in literally 5 minutes. You could do the same thing, and imagine when you start combining more search phrases with more interest, you can build a list of potential products very quickly that are tailored to your personal interests. So then you want to repeat this process for more search phrases and more interest until you have a list of about 15 to 20 potential product opportunities. Now, you don't have to just use Amazon for potential product ideas. Another idea is Kickstarter. It's a crowdfunding site where people basically, they have product ideas and they kind of pre-fund them before they actually create them. So you can go look at products that have already received a lot of funding on Kickstarter. So you can run this search criteria that says, how much has this thing pledged? Meaning, how much did people actually spend to basically pre-order this product? There's a few different levels, but I would do minimum of $10,000. And so then if I were to do that, then I would go in the design category in the United States for products that have $10,000 to $100,000 pledged. Here's an example product that I found yesterday. And so this product here is a pocket-sized titanium toothbrush kit for on the go. And basically it's also environmentally friendly and compact and easy for a lot of different hobbies. This thing's goal was $5,000. Instead, they had over 1,400 backers pledge $81,000 before this product even exists. This can give you an idea of additional products that you could think about launching. You may not copy them exactly, but it's like, okay, cool, people are kind of liking this thing. It's already has some proven demand. Maybe I can go create something similar. Another product idea on Amazon is to literally just go look at the top 100. So the previous search method on Amazon was to take an interest and go search for that on Amazon. This is saying, rather than having to use your interest, you can just go look at the best-selling products on Amazon. So if you just Google Amazon bestsellers, you'll find a little page that looks like this. The one that says Amazon bestsellers, you click on that, and then it shows you every category, the top 100 for all of them. For example, if I scroll down to kitchen and dining, because maybe you're into cooking and that kind of thing, you would see the top 100 products in kitchen and dining. So you see that the first one is some sort of vacuum sealer, the second one is like a drinking cup, and the third one is a digital meat thermometer. So you may think like, oh, digital meat thermometer, that could be a product that I think could be more specific, could be better. And we'll talk more about differentiation in a few minutes. But this starts giving you ideas of products are absolutely crushing it, that you could potentially take this mass market product and make it appeal to a certain audience group, make it a little better, and start getting an idea of how to make this a better product. We talk about differentiation in a second. But for now, you're literally just building a potential product list. Now, that's step one, is to create a list of high potential product ideas. Step two is to validate demand for your top ideas. For any new product that you sell, whether you're a brand new seller or whether you're launching your second, third, fourth, fifth, 100th product, you must validate demand before investing time and money. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make in e-commerce that I've seen over the past 10 years, I guess, of teaching people this, is they'll get so excited about a product, and maybe it's a cool product, but they never went and checked that people actually want this kind of thing. And then they end up going through all this time and hassle of getting this product live, creating it, branding it, launching it, only to find nobody actually wants it. Not the position you want to be in. You want to validate demand before you invest a bunch of time and money. So first method to validate demand is to check out the Amazon rankings. So if I were to search on Amazon, for example, belay glasses for rock climbing. This is a product that I saw that I've actually used. These are kind of goofy, but they popped up in that first search that I did earlier. This is a product that pops up, for example. And so if I were to go click on this product, check out the Amazon page, there's a section that looks like this. There's additional information. What I'm looking for is this part right here. It says number 8,462 in sports and outdoors. I'm looking for at least 2 products that have a best sellers rank in that top category of less than 10,000. And so in this case, this first one is 8,000 something, so that's less than 10,000. I'm like, okay, cool. So people are at least buying this one quite a bit. I would go click through the rest of the products on there and see if I can find at least a second one that is also less than 10,000. When I did this, I couldn't find another one that was less than 10,000. This was the next best one that I saw. It's ranked number 25,000. I mean, it's the 25,000th, 703rd or whatever, but 25,000th or so best-selling product in sports and outdoors. It's probably not really selling that well. And so that's not a lot of demand I'm seeing for this product. One is less than 10,000, but none of the rest of them are. So I'm like, okay, maybe this product doesn't have quite enough demand for me to want to go into this. So I go back and I'm like, okay, maybe not that product. I grab the second one on my list, rock climbing chalk bag. I see that like, okay, there's one that's like 5,000 something, that's good. There's another one that's 2,000 something, that's even better. And then I believe there was even a couple more that were also well below 10,000. So this tells me there's a good number of people buying this product, rock climbing chalk bag, to make it kind of past that item on my list. So now I'm like, okay, I'm building a short list. I have, 15 to 20. Now I'm trying to get this down to just a few. So the way to validate demand, the first way, is to find those products on Amazon that are kind of similar to what you want to sell. And there's at least 2 that are less than 10,000 in that top level category. Second way to validate demand, because that just tells you kind of a point in time. It doesn't really tell you on Amazon, unless you use some other third-party tools, how it's trending. Because you may find that like, great, it's less than 10,000, but sales could be falling off a cliff, and next week it could be 20,000 or 30,000 and not really selling well anymore. Another way to kind of look at this, get a little more confidence in your products, is to use Google Trends. This literally just tells you, are people searching for this product more or less over time. So for example, if I were to search for rock climbing chalk bag, you can see over the past 5 years, it's more or less consistent. It bounces up and down and stuff, probably different times of the year and that kind of thing, but it's not dropping off a cliff. So as long as it's consistent or going up, that's good enough. However, if somehow I was searching on Amazon and found a fidget spinner, you would notice, because those things went nuts, 5 years ago or so, and then they basically have just dropped off, to nothing since then. For some reason, I guess they had some spike or something a few months ago. I don't really know what that is. But in general, the long-term trend is these things are getting less popular, which is what you would kind of expect. So once you kind of find some products, do they have less than 10,000? Search them on Google Trends, see if people are searching for this product the same or more than they used to in the past. Now you have an idea of like, okay, this could be a really good product for me to sell. So that's step number 2, is to validate demand for your top ideas. Step number 3 is to differentiate to dominate. So you've created a list of potential products, you've narrowed it down by products that have validated demand. And the third step is to come up with a way to differentiate that makes sense for that market. This is one of the most important steps. Obviously, you got to do number 2. You got to make sure that there's existing demand. The third thing is to make sure there's some level of differentiation, because this can make or break your business. So if I were just to search for bathroom wipes on Amazon, for example, say this idea popped in my head, maybe I was, in the bathroom and saw these things, and I was like, I wonder if those are doing well. So then I went and searched for those things, and on Amazon, the search results kind of look like this. The first 3 all look pretty much exactly the same. They're literally almost the same color. They're kind of targeted, not really gender specific, but that fourth one looks pretty interesting. Black. It's literally called Dude Wipes. This is an interesting product. This product has some level of differentiation that didn't exist before. So these guys ended up creating this brand, Dude Wipes. It sells now about $90 million per year, because they took a pretty generic product, did a few things right, and applied some meaningful differentiation. They've been able to absolutely crush it. If you were the 8,000th person to come up with a basic generic bathroom wipes that was kind of for everybody, nobody would have ever heard of you. But if you're these guys who did some level of differentiation targeted at a specific demographic, they built a business with $90 million a year in sales, which is insane. Another example, Native deodorant. And so Procter & Gamble bought this business for $100 million in cash, because they had some level of differentiation. If they were just another regular deodorant, would have never happened. But because they had some differentiation, they were able to absolutely crush it. So 3 different ways to differentiate. First is demographic. You target a specific underserved demographic. So Dude Wipes is a perfect example. They took bathroom wipes and targeted dudes or guys. Another example, Black Rifle Coffee. And so they basically took, basic coffee and then targeted at a specific demographic. I mean, they literally put, rifles and stuff on their packaging. And so it kind of tells you the demographic that they're going after, people that into outdoors, people that support the military, people that maybe were in the military, all that kind of thing. They took regular coffee and basically targeted at that demographic. They currently do about $320 million per year in sales and are now a publicly traded company. Another example, Billy Razor. So they basically saw what Dollar Shave Club and Harry's did that basically blew up, created billion-dollar companies. And they're like, hey, those are kind of targeted at men. What if we did the same thing, but target them at women? And they basically copied their model. From what I can tell, even packaging, razors, all that stuff looks pretty similar. Did the same thing, but then targeted it at women. They were acquired by Schick for $310 million. This is the power of taking an existing product that's pretty basic and targeting it at a specific demographic. So that's differentiation method number 1. Target a specific underserved demographic. Differentiation method number 2 is to go low impact and natural, or make your product environmentally friendly and or more natural. Native Deodorant, perfect example of this. They made their packaging super clean and simple, and they basically, said, even right there on the packaging says paraben free, aluminum free. So they went very natural with their product. I mean, it's literally the name of the product too is Native. Kind of gives you an idea of what they're going for, and that's how they were really able to stand out in this kind of market where everyone else was just pushing their new scent or whatever in deodorant. They went extremely natural, and it worked very well for them. Another example, Allbirds. So actually, I don't have one right now, but pretty much always wearing them otherwise. And so they're a shoe company that's also gone public. And I'm not going to read this whole paragraph necessarily, but this is from their About section on their website. So this guy teams up with a guy that's an engineer and also into renewables. They created some new kind of shoe and says they were inspired by natural materials and to create better things in a better way. So they're basically trying to build the most environmentally friendly shoe possible, or at least that's what they say they are. This is a whole section on their website about climate change, about how they're doing everything they possibly can to make these shoes incredibly environmentally friendly. That's their whole angle with these shoes. They currently do about $300 million per year in sales, and as a public company are worth about $500 million right now, even in the currently depressed stock market. And so this is an example of a company going very environmentally friendly with their products. So that's the second way to differentiate, is to make your product environmentally friendly and or more natural. Third way, maximize or minimize one feature of the product to stand out. So Charlie Munger, multi-billionaire business partner of Warren Buffett for 50 plus years, he says in business, we often find that the winning system goes almost ridiculously far in maximizing and or minimizing one or a few variables. So what does he mean? He basically means your business or product has to stand out. It has to stand out for something meaningful, otherwise you're just going to get drowned in with everyone else. So this is kind of our main way of differentiating. We've also, done things that make it more environmentally friendly. We support those kind of causes. But, we basically, our winning system, I guess, for this brand has been to position it and to make it the healthiest coffee possible. That's what we've done. That's what I think has really helped us stand out. We've tried to be the extreme of a single variable. In our case, it's healthiest. This is another example. This is Yeti coolers. And they basically built a $450 million brand trying to make this thing as extreme as possible. And if you've ever seen their pricing, especially before people started ripping them off, I mean, they'd be selling a cooler that would be $300 where you could buy a generic one from Igloo or something for like $50. So their price was so extreme because they wanted their quality to be so extreme, and that's how they built their brand. So this article on Inc. says the whole idea behind Yeti was to design a cooler that could withstand their fishing tactics, primarily one they could stand on without fear of collapse as they sight casted for redfish. So they wanted the most durable, hardcore, sturdy cooler they could possibly create, and they built a $450 million company out of doing it. says that this was back in 2015. It says Yeti closed in on $450 million in sales, up from just 5 million, basically 6 years before that. Absolutely insane growth from really going after making their product stand out and as extreme as possible in terms of durability and quality. So ways you can maximize or minimize, you can have a product that's the toughest, the fastest, the heaviest, the lightest, the brightest, the healthiest, the most natural, the most environmentally friendly, the smallest, the biggest, the softest, the hardest, the girliest, the manliest, the simplest. Anything you could possibly find where you can really go extreme in one direction or another that you think is meaningful to the audience. And one way to validate that is to read the reviews of existing products, find out what people really want, or it's even better if you actually kind of know the market already. And then this can allow you to create a product that really stands out. So these are the three main ways to differentiate. You can target a specific underserved demographic. You can make your product environmentally friendly or more natural, and or you can minimize or maximize one feature of the product to stand out. Fourth step is to launch your automated fulfillment and sales machine. So the first step to launching your product, once you figured out what product you want to sell or are narrowing it down to the last few on your list, is to order samples. Your product may come from the US, it may come from China, it may come from Taiwan, Vietnam, Pakistan, could come from literally anywhere. It could come from South America. It just depends on the nature of the product. And so the next step is to order samples. Now, the easiest way to find suppliers for any product is to do a Google search. For example, if I wanted to launch chalk bags, I would Google, rock climbing chalk bag supplier, rock climbing chalk bag manufacturer. And that's the easiest way to find them. You can also go straight to a website called Alibaba.com, ALIBABA.com. And that can also help you find a lot of the same suppliers. But literally, a quick Google search adding manufacturer at the end is probably going to point you in the right direction regardless. So once you find a supplier that sells a similar product, order some samples. That can take, about a week or two. And then you'll get those in, you can evaluate the quality. Once you're happy with the quality of the samples you receive, then you order your initial inventory. You tell your supplier, okay, great, I want X number of these products because I want to go start selling this under my own brand name. Which the idea is here not to sell somebody else's brand. You want to 100% own the brand. I think it's crazy to do what most people consider drop shipping, where you're selling other people's products. You want to own and control the brand yourself. And so with the supplier, they'll literally create inventory that has your own branding on it, which you can create, in an hour or so after a little bit of brainstorming, buy the domain, create a logo, and you're off and running. And so you want to order your initial inventory. While that inventory is getting produced, it can take about a month or so. While that inventory is getting produced, you want to go ahead and set up your Shopify store. You don't have, this is one counterintuitive part a lot of people don't get, is you don't have to spend a massive amount of time getting a custom design for your Shopify store, spending a bunch of money on graphics and photos and all that kind of stuff. You just need a basic Shopify store set up and running to start for your new brand to sell this one product. Then you're going to ship your inventory, your supplier will, and you can use it's called a freight forwarder to do this. And they're easy to find. We can give you a recommendation, but you ship your inventory to a third-party logistics company, which basically houses all your inventory and handles all the shipping and processing and picking and packing and returns and everything. The one we currently recommend for new sellers is Deliver with 2 R's at the end. And so they do fulfillment. They have warehouses. You can send your inventory there. It can automatically connect with your Shopify store so that then when somebody orders from your business on Shopify, the order will automatically be sent to them and they'll automatically ship it out to your customer. Your customer will get tracking information. Works super simple. Now, if you already sell on Amazon using Fulfillment by Amazon, just use that. You don't need a third-party fulfillment system to sell on Shopify. You can literally use Amazon FBA if you already use it. But if you're not selling on Amazon yet, then use this service, Deliver. It's the best one we recommend right now. So that's the next step, is to ship it out and get your inventory ready to sell. Then you're going to promote your new product with a powerful landing page. This is why you don't really need a super custom Shopify store, because most of your sales are going to be happening all through one page. This, for example, is a page that we still use today for Life Boost Coffee. We've done, north of $18 million in sales just through this one page. And this is really the entry point of how we've been able to produce over $60 million in sales, is this one simple landing page biggest element on here is to make sure you have a good, or few elements, have a good headline, show all your features and benefits, but the most important part is as much proof as possible. The more reviews you can get and the more different forms of those reviews you can get, the better your page is going to perform. So you want written reviews from customers, you want photos with you can literally start with friends and family, just like give them your product and take a photo. And then later on, you want video reviews. Later on, ideally, you add some social media influencers and that sort of thing. But every element of proof you can possibly get, throw it on that one page, because you don't have to worry about people getting distracted all over your website. You can literally put every single thing on one single landing page, and this is how you can dramatically grow your business. We didn't spend any time optimizing our actual Shopify store for the first year and a half. All we did was test and test and test this page to make it better and better and better, drive more and more sales, and that got us to over $1 million a month in sales. This is all you need. You don't need a massively built out Shopify store. So the fastest way to grow sales, pick a mass market product with proven demand, which we've already talked about, differentiate it so that it stands out. Third, create one good landing page. And remember, proof is the most important part of that. Fourth, automate your sales with email and SMS using a platform called Klaviyo. There are other ones that do this, like MailChimp, Constant Contact, and a bunch of other ones. But the best one for Shopify that handles all your email marketing and also does SMS is called Klaviyo. We use it at Amazing. We use it at LifeBoost. Basically, everyone I know that sells on Shopify uses it. And so it will automatically send out emails. You just set it up with a few different emails that go out when a new customer buys from you, and you can automate this whole thing. And so you'll automatically be reselling to every single customer that buys from you. Ideally, you set this up before you even start selling your products. So as soon as you start selling your products, you're producing a lot more sales. Then you're going to promote your products on massive social platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as well. The way you drive a ton of sales today, the most important things are the parts we've already covered, is to pick a mass market product with proven demand and differentiate it so that it stands out. If you do those things right, running ads, generating traffic, generating sales is so much easier, because all you do is say, hey, run an ad on Facebook, or even post organically on platforms such as Instagram Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, and show the product and show how it's different and better. And you'll almost automatically find the right kind of people that'll want to go out there and buy that product. Because if you create a product that really stands out and is actually different than something else that exists now, people will find it, start sharing it, and will go and start buying it. It works incredibly well. But the reason most people fail to scale on social media platforms and e-commerce is because first, they have a generic product that's not different than anybody else. And third, they don't have a good landing page. They send them to their basic store page. It's got no social proof. It's got no reviews, doesn't have any of that stuff at any meaningful amount. And they end up, not ever being able to drive a significant amount of traffic from social media. If you do those first three things right, even skipping number 4 if you have to, if you do those first 3 things right, you can drive a massive amount of sales using all of those social media platforms. I would start with those ones. I know people that have e-commerce brands that have quadrupled their business literally just posting free videos on TikTok. Because the interesting thing about some of these social media platforms today, Instagram Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, is they're very different than social media algorithms of the past. So in the past, you had to build this big following, then you put a piece of content and hopefully your followers see it. Now, you can have almost no followers, post a video that's engaging enough, is unique enough, for example, for unique products, and then the platform will feed you all the viewers you could ever want. Works like crazy, but you have to have something unique to say about your product, which is why this training is so important for you. So these are the 4 steps to find the perfect product to sell on Shopify, regardless of what happens in the economy. I want you to be in the position where you are not affected almost at all, even if the economy crashes, because you've got a business that's a cash producing asset that you control, you can scale, you can grow, and you have so many different tools that you can use to drive traffic, different social media platforms, organic, also paid. You can add more products to your brand. You control the whole thing. You're not dependent on Amazon. You're not dependent on a job. You're not dependent on anyone else. It comes down to first, creating a list of high potential product ideas. Second, validating demand for your top ideas. Third, differentiating your product. And fourth, launching your automated fulfillment and sales machine. So we've covered a lot on this training so far, but we've barely scratched the surface on everything that's possible with this new model. Whether you're starting your first e-commerce business or you want to scale your current business massively, this is finally the answer you've been looking for. With this new system, you build a brand that you control on your platform. You own the customer relationship. You can upsell, cross-sell, and build repeat customers. You're not dependent on Amazon whatsoever. I know this model works because I've actually done it. This is my business. This is a little even older screenshot with over $60 million in sales, over 900,000 orders just since 2019. So question I have for you at this point is, do you want to build a life-changing business that sets you free and you don't have to worry about what happens in the economy? If so, we want to help. This is what we call the OmniChannel Machine full program. The OmniChannel Machine is designed by the only person to build a 3x Inc. 500 category-crushing e-commerce business with $30 million a year in sales, and to help people sell $10 billion online in their own businesses. You get custom-tailored program that meets your needs with one-on-one support throughout the entire thing. You get fast and massive progress starting today. And it's a better model that's no longer dependent on what changes happen on Amazon. The goal is to help you build a thriving, cash-producing, multi-million-dollar e-commerce business, primarily based on selling on your own website with Shopify. So here are the components. First, the detailed online training with 4 parts and 105 lessons. Part number 1 of the online training is all about finding a product and building your brand, how to find opportunities, the differentiation matrix, finding high-quality suppliers, supplier contact templates, creating a brand with a simple logo and design resources. We walked you through all of that, getting powerful product packaging to stand out, setting up your limited liability company and business and tax setup resources that you need to get going. And you also get a bonus, which is a free product opportunity assessment, which is worth about $2,000. Part number 2 is launching your online store. You get a simple 6-step blueprint to get set up on Shopify, free theme selection, templates for basic and necessary store pages. We literally give those templates to you. 3 critical and easy to use apps to enhance your store, building a lead list to launch your first product, a 5-point checklist once your store is set up, creating your automated fulfillment system. And then in part number 3 is about scaling your Shopify sales, beating all your competitors by maximizing order value, adding upsells, order bumps, and cross sales, automating sales with email and SMS flows, email and SMS templates that you can just plug into your Klaviyo account, how to make sales in your first 24 hours after launch, fill in the blanks marketing calendar template, add templates that work for any brand or product. Lastly, part number 4, expanding to Amazon and other platforms. I'm not against selling on Amazon. Our business coffee company, we sell about 10 to 15% of our sales on Amazon. I love it. It's great. It's another place to sell. I just checked today, and we have over 3,400 subscribe and save customers on Amazon alone. I wouldn't want to give that up for anything. However, we recommend you use Shopify as the foundation for your brand, and then later add platforms such as Amazon and others. And that's what part 4 is all about. Expanding your brand sales on Amazon, simple Walmart.com expansion blueprint, Amazon optimization checklist, hiring and scaling a team to run your business for you. The value of this online training is you're going to pick products with confidence, paint by number system to grow Shopify sales. You'll know exactly what tools to use and how to use them. And you can finally make paid ads work because you've done the right steps. Imagine having a diversified base of sales that you 100% control. Imagine being able to send an email or SMS and basically print money anytime you want. Imagine waking up and not caring if you get a negative review on Amazon that drops your sales by 50%. If you're an existing seller, you know what I mean. Imagine waking up to thousands of dollars in repeat sales on Shopify each day before you start working. Today, we get about $40,000 to $50,000 in recurring sales every single day. Half of our business is subscription sales, and I would love for you to be in the exact same position. So the first component is the detailed online training. The second is the personal implementation path. This is assigned in the first 24 hours of onboarding because you may be in a different position. Path number one is if you're starting a brand new business and a brand new product. We'll show you how to pick a product, find a supplier, create a brand, launch your Shopify store, and scale your sales. Path number two is you're going to use your same brand you already have, but you want to add a new product to it that follows this model. You learn how to pick a product for your brand, find a supplier, launch your Shopify store, and scale sales. Path number three is you want a new Shopify store. So you're going to launch your Shopify store, optimize for your brand, scale sales, advanced scaling, and platform expansion. And last but not least, if you're already selling on Shopify, then I will show you how to massively scale your sales. I mean, we do about $2.5 million a month right now, so we know something about scaling on Shopify. It'll include optimizing it, reactivating customers, scaling your sales, advanced scaling, and platform expansion. So the second component is the personal implementation path. The third component is weekly group coaching calls. These are held twice per week. We want to make sure you get all of your questions answered when you join the OmniChannel machine. The goal is to get you moving as fast as possible and keep you moving fast. These are held live every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're all recorded and available to watch anytime you want if you can't make them. First call on Tuesdays is 90 minutes. It's all on product suppliers and branding. Call number two is also 90 minutes. This one's on Thursdays. This is all on marketing and scaling sales. I mean, literally tomorrow afternoon, we'll be doing our marketing call for OmniChannel members, and you get access to all of these. So you get quick, fast, and accurate answers each week, work through problems fast, and learn from others' questions. And it's basically like getting one-on-one coaching each week at a fraction of the cost. If you have a burning question about finding a product, you get it answered live. If you have a big problem you need solved, get it answered live by real experts. So third component, weekly group coaching calls. Fourth component is the private Facebook group, which is starting to get a ton of traction. So you get quick access to other members and us. You get access to recordings of weekly group coaching calls. They're live and available 24/7. You get access immediately when you join to start engaging. So imagine down the road, you're busy building your business, but you're surrounded by people in your daily life, friends, family, that sort of thing, who just don't get it. Why are you building this business? Why are you going through all that hassle? So instead, you jump into the OmniChannel Machine Facebook group and see a fellow member you've watched over months hit a major milestone. Your motivation seeing that success soars and you're back on track. A few weeks later, you noticed a post with a killer tip that catapults your sales to a higher level. You'll feel like an entire community is at your back helping you succeed with this group, because we are. That's what we're here for. Your motivation will remain high, so you push through all obstacles and build the business that changes your life. Fourth component, private Facebook group. Fifth component, dedicated client success manager. So this is unlimited one-on-one access to someone who's got your back on our team that's trained. So you get a dedicated e-commerce professional available to help you. This includes an onboarding session. It includes unlimited one-on-one access via a private Slack channel. They help you pick the best implementation pathway for you. They help make sure you know how to best use the program. And they guide your entire e-commerce scaling journey, no matter where you're starting at. So beyond the dedicated client success manager, you get templates, checklists, and resources. These are just a few of the ones we have in here. Product research resources, differentiation matrix, supplier contact templates, low-cost logo resources, brand guidelines templates, store admin page templates, upsell page templates, ad templates, store setup checklists, email automation templates, SMS automation, Amazon automation optimization checklist, and much, much more. We've basically thrown every single thing that's worked for us in our own businesses. In my case, building a $60 million plus in sales on Shopify alone. Everything that's worked for us, we've included in here, so you can literally just copy and paste them and add them to your own business. So these are the primary components of the OmniChannel machine. This is a 6-month intensive program built to get you massive results. However, you do get lifetime access to all training and associated resources, even beyond the 6 months. For the detailed online training, you get lifetime access, implementation path, lifetime access, templates, checklists, and resources, lifetime access, the weekly group coaching calls, private Facebook group, and dedicated client success manager. Those components are 6 full months. So the question you should be asking yourself at this point is, what is the value of all of this? I've been able to build an e-commerce brand worth $40 to $60 million with this same system and these same resources. There are thousands of opportunities right now to create new brands and scale existing ones using the same exact strategies. The value of this type of direct to consumer business right now is 3 to 10 times profit. And in some cases, it can be as high as 20 times profit. So if your business produces $250,000 a year in profit, it could be worth an estimated $750,000 to $2.5 million. That's what we're after here, not a short-term time-wasting hustle. Just as important, you're building a business you control. You're no longer in a position in which all your hard work could be for nothing, literally overnight, because of an Amazon policy change. The juice used to be worth the squeeze for that type of risk, not anymore though, when there's this big of an opportunity outside of Amazon. You build your brand with a direct relationship with your customers you can email, SMS, and market to anytime you want. That's what building a real business is all about. Here's how confident I am this will work for you. If you don't produce an extra $10,000 in sales with this system, we'll work with you until you do for free, or you can get your money back. Starting from scratch, get your first $10,000 in sales in 6 months, or you pay zero. That's what this guarantee is. If you already own a brand and you want to expand, you get an additional $10,000 in sales within the first 6 months, or you pay nothing. That's how confident we are in this. All you have to do is take action using the steps we give you in this program. If you don't get at least this result, we will work with you until you do, or you can get your money back. That's how confident we are these strategies work. In the future, to get this full program, including online training, resources, group coaching, and one-on-one support from an e-commerce professional, the investment will be $7,800 to $9,800. That's still an incredible deal, and here's why. The average cost to get an MBA is $130,384.62 according to MBA Today. Even the least expensive MBA is over $55,000, or about $14,000 per 6-month semester, because a typical MBA program is 2 years or 4 semesters. So it's still $14,000 per 6-month semester. A full-time MBA, though, requires 40 hours of your time per week, and you will have built nothing after the 2-year investment. All you'll have is a sheet of paper saying you got an MBA. With the OmniChannel machine, the investment is far less, and you build or grow a real business you 100% own while you're learning. While you're going through this program, you're building your own business, and it's coming to life. So to get full access to this program, it's not $100,000 like it would cost for 1 year of private coaching with me. It's not $130,000 like the average MBA. It's not even $55,000 like the least expensive MBA. It's not even $13,000 or $14,000 like you'd pay for just 1 semester of the least expensive MBA. To get full access to all components of the OmniChannel machine, the investment is only 3 payments of $1,933. Then you're in. You're also 100% covered by a no questions asked 14-day check it out money back guarantee. Give the program a try for the next 14 days, and if you're not happy, we'll give you a full refund.